My song, Do You Think, was written about my mother. 10 years after my brother passed away, she passed away of melanoma. Cinderella was like the theme at her house with my daughter because she was 6 years old. She liked to always dress up in her little gowns, and they read the story, and my dad played along, and every time they visit over there. So on the day that my mother passed away, we were sitting by her bedside, and I just related her going to heaven. Maybe it was like Cinderella. Maybe angels came down and swooped her up in a chariot and took her to heaven to see God. Or maybe they rolled the red carpet out for her. And Holly said, "What's the red carpet?" So that's how they honor people. And, for the president or movie stars, that's how they let you know that you're important. It was about an hour later the undertaker came to take her from the house, that he moved her onto a gurney, and he pulled out this red velvet cover and placed it over her. And Holly was watching the whole thing, and she said, "Look, Mom, the red carpet." So a few weeks later, I wrote the song called Do You Think?
Do you think dying's like a fairy tale? Do you think heaven is your castle?
We all sometimes we just really need a visualization of what heaven could be like. Sometimes we just can't see it, and so we can't understand it. But if someone can show us or tell us a story that can inspire us, then maybe someone might grasp onto that.
Dedication. This book is dedicated to Sandy S. Rader, mother and grandmother. She was a beautiful woman inside and out, with a spirit of kindness and compassion toward people of all ages. The name Sandy means helper of mankind, which describes her courage and determination to find a cure for melanoma cancer. While fighting cancer herself, she joined an experimental study group in hopes that she might help save the lives as well as her own. In March 2003, Sandy died, but because of her faith, we were reassured that she went to live eternally in heaven with her Savior, Jesus Christ. To carry on Sandy's spirit of kindness and compassion, $1 from the sale of this book will be donated to the Hope Foundation, helping oncology patients excel, to benefit cancer patients in Northwest Arkansas. This story is dedicated to anyone who has lost someone that they love. Acknowledgements. We would like to thank our family and friends for your prayers and support. With your help, we have been able to share a true story of hope with others, especially those who have lost someone they love. My name is Holly, and this is the story about my Cinderella grandma. Now, you may know the Cinderella story and thought it was just a fake fairy tale, but did you know that it could actually happen? I grew up playing Cinderella at my grandma's house. My grandpa would be the prince, I would be Cinderella, and the only part left would be the ugly stepsisters. So like all grandmas, she would take the worst part. It's just what grandmas do. I spent lots of time with her. She was very special to me. Then it all happened. One day she found out she had cancer. That was a sad day for all of us. I remember if we were ever sick or scared, she would always say, "Be a brave soldier." Now she had to be brave. For about 3 years, she had to take medicine for cancer that made her feel sick. After a few years of medicine, her body started getting weak. The cancer got worse, and she was too sick to move around much. Grandma had a hospital bed in her dining room, and that is where she stayed most of the time. I remember one day we went to visit Grandma. I told her everything was going to be okay. I watched my mom paint my grandma's fingernails and toenails the color red. That was her favorite color. Grandma always had them painted that color. When Mom was finished, she told me and my brother Gavin to stand by Grandma's bed. We held hands and prayed together. Then we all told Grandma we loved her. We had to leave for a little while, but we told Grandma we would be coming back. While we were gone, my grandpa said he talked to Grandma. He told her she was a good wife and mother to their kids. He told her no one could ever take her place. Then he said if she was in pain and needed to go to heaven, then she could go. It would be okay. After he told her that, Grandma took a couple of long breaths and then stopped breathing. Grandpa called us and told us that Grandma had died. We were very sad. We went back to their house as fast as we could. When we got there, my grandpa and my mom gave each other a great big hug and went to the kitchen. Pastor Basil was there reading the Bible. My mom said that Grandma was like Cinderella. Maybe a chariot was coming to take her to heaven. Then she said, maybe she'll get the red carpet. What's the red carpet? I asked. Mom said it's a carpet used for very important people and movie stars. A few hours later, a man came to take her. He got out a beautiful red cover and covered her with it. Then I said, look, Mom, the red carpet. My grandma wasn't famous, but to God she was just like Cinderella the princess. He rolled the red carpet out for her when she went to the royal ball in heaven to live with the holy prince forever. If someone you love dies of cancer or any sickness, just think of a fairy tale like Cinderella or Snow White. It'll make you feel better, because with God, you can live happily ever after.
Do you recall the story of Cinderella? How she went to the ball to meet her handsome fella. She was dressed in her best, shoes, dress, and hair, with the hopes in her heart she would find her true love there. As she walked into the room, all eyes turned to her, and the question arose, who was this girl? When the prince looked at her, well, he knew right away she would be his bride. He would marry her someday. Do you think dying's like a fairy tale? Do you think heaven is your castle? Do you think the angels sweep you off your feet? Do you think it was a warm spring day in March in the year 2003 when Mom went to that castle? She was only 53. The kids and I stood by her side as we held hands and prayed. And we told the Lord of heaven, Lord, just give her peace. Daddy came home that day, sat down by her side, reassured her of her life, of the mom and wife she was. He told her, if you have to leave us, know that it's okay. With those thoughts inside her heart, it took her breath away. Do you think do you think?
You have been listening to My Cinderella Grandma by Holly and Tammy Rodgers. Copyright 2008, all rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any way by means electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise without the prior permission of the author, except as provided by USA copyright law.